Hey everybody, today I'll be setting up one of the new tanks for some very special Plecos that we finally ordered. I've been wanting them for a long time, and with you guys subscribing to the channel, liking, commenting, ordering from the website, all that stuff helps. Allows me to do upgrades here in the fish room, allows me to add new racks, and now as a result I'm able to order some fish that I've been wanting for a long time. You can see here we're already playing with the new racks, some new scapes, getting this all cycled, but today we'll be setting up one tank in particular for these Plecos. I'm just waiting for them to arrive. I had them hold it for Black Friday, so it didn't ship over Black Friday craziness. So first we're going to set up the tank, and then we'll check in once the Plecos arrive. Something I'm really excited to play with are these Aquarium Co-op Easy Planters. You can see I got a bunch of them. Here's one out of the box. These look super cool. They kind of remind me of the Universal Rocks background and almost like Dragonstone, but these planters here, you put the potted plant in there, and I think we'll use that for this scape because I think with these Plecos, I think because they're going to be the star of the tank, I want to feed them pretty heavy and I want it to be bare bottom, but I also like live plants and everything, so I think this is the perfect solution. So this is the tank I'm going to put the Plecos in. It's a 20-gallon tall with a Hydro 4 Pro sponge filter as the filtration. Planning on quarantining them in here, growing them up. I don't know exactly what size they're going to be. I know I ordered, I think they're about 1.5 inches, so they should be fine in here for a little bit. The plants in here, we have an Anubias, I forget the type, and we have Java Fern, and that's another plant that's going in another tank, but this tank has kind of been a catch-all for plants I've been receiving. You can see I'm ordering a bunch of plants. But these are staying in the pot because they're going in the Aquarium Co-op planters. Now the way that Corey says to prep the plants that you keep in the pot and put in these planters is to actually put a root tab in these. So these are the root tabs I use, the Flourish tabs from Chem. I've been using them for years. They work great. Now Anubias is usually feeding from the water column, so this isn't ideal, but I think it can't hurt to have one of the root tabs right in there for it to feed on, have some kind of nutrient supply from the roots there. Now for the Java Fern, I'm going to do the same thing, but I might take a look at these. The rhizome of the Java Fern is kind of buried, so I'm actually going to pull these out a little bit so that the rhizome is kind of on the top here. I'm afraid that over time it would rot, because ideally something like Java Fern you would attach to a piece of rock or wood, and the rhizome would grow and attach onto that piece of rock or wood. You can sometimes get rot if you bury it too far in the substrate, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'll put a root tab in, but first I'm going to take the time to move this out a little bit. Now I've got the root tabs in. It's very easy, hence the name, Easy Planter. Just drop that right in there. And you just put the planter here. And you can play around with it a little bit where it goes. And just like that, it looks great, especially with the bare bottom. So I'm going to add 3 or 4 of these and kind of play around with the plants. Here's the scape I went with. I ended up using 4 of the Easy Planters. I also added a Pleco cave in there. I don't expect any breeding anytime soon, but I think they'll enjoy it either way. I'm waiting for another Anubias to come in the mail. So once that goes, I'll plop that right into the Easy Planter there. This Java Fern hopefully will grow out and I can move things around. That's what's really great about these planters is I can completely rescape this if I wanted. If the Java Fern ends up growing really big, I can move it to the back. If I change my mind, I don't like the Java Fern and Anubias, just swap them out. So it really gives you flexibility to play with. Personally, I think it looks good in a bare bottom tank. Like it kind of brings some life to the tank instead of just having a bare bottom tank with maybe some moss or something. I'm probably going to add some kind of floating plant to give some top cover for the Plecos, since I don't think I'm going to be putting other fish in with them. The fish are finally here. They came in a nice big box. Lots of stickers, fragile all over the side of the box. These guys were shipped FedEx overnight, so they've been in this bag, in the bags for less than 24 hours, which is great. It's a big box I only ordered a couple of them. We've got heat packs here that are not that warm. And we've got some material here that I'm not familiar with, packing. Are they all in one big bag? Looks like it. Let's see. Yep, I see him in there. Could get him on camera. Hope he's out of the water. All look to be alive and well. Let's get him in the tank and talk about him. These guys were packed really well, triple bagged, tons of rubber bands used, so there's no way that the bags were leaking. Took me about 5 full minutes to actually get to the fish here. And here they are. These are the Wabenmuster or the Honeycomb Pleco. Can't believe I finally have them. They're not readily available in the US, and when they are, they're kind of pricey. But you could see why they have the Honeycomb name. That pattern just looks awesome. I did get 7 of them. There's one loner kind of off on the side here. But I figured I'd get this shot now because I don't think we'll get good shots of them once they get in the tank. Huge shout out to William, who referred me to a place that had them, and I was able to get them because of that. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'm hoping that I could breed these long term. These guys will have to grow out for a while. Not expecting breeding anytime soon, but hopefully we do get breeding activity because these guys look awesome. So just as I thought, these guys are going to be hiding most of the time. They've been in here for a couple days already, and I still haven't seen them come out. I know they're eating because the rapashi slowly is going away. I see that they're going to the bathroom there. So they're definitely eating, and I've pulled stuff out to kind of check on them, make sure that they were alive. And so far, I think all of them are doing pretty well. They just got to adjust. Ideally, there'd probably be more plants in here and more cover to make them feel a little bit more comfortable. But right now, I can see 4 of them clearly. So that's a good sign. Anyone else who's used these planters, let me know if it kind of clouded your water a bit, because it almost seemed like tannins, like when you put a new piece of wood in with my water. It wasn't a bacterial bloom or anything like that. It seemed more like tannins, and I kind of just dumped these in the tank without rinsing them. So let me know your experience with these, if that happened to you guys. I'm curious to see if that was the reason. And as far as the place I got these from, they shipped them really well, but I wasn't really happy with the customer service. So I'm not going to mention them or give them a little shout out here, but I'm glad I was able to get them, and they're doing well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.